One wrong move with a newborn in a prop can be dangerous.
Let us show you the right way to do it safely.
So the first prop we're going to go to is a bucket. Most popular prop that everyone goes to.
We use them in every single session.
We do. Not just a bucket, but baskets with high sides.
Yeah.
Anything that you pose in baby on the side of. So either leaning on the front
or lying back.
Yeah, lying
Anything
back.
which is not like central, off balance kind of situation.
So the first thing we will do with any of these high-sided props is a weight. We've got...
As you can tell, I do not use this for the gym.
We've got these old gym weights that we were not using, so we brought them into the studio. We've got a couple of these, so we've always got enough to put in any of the props that we use in. So the weight will go in, depending on where baby is lying. So if they're lying against the back, then the weight will go towards the front, because it's always acting as a counterweight. So if baby is going to be balancing at the back, the weight goes at the front. If the baby is going to be at the front, then the weight goes at the back. So then when you push on that, the prop isn't going to move. The weight...
We always try and have a flat, as flat as possible weight, because then it doesn't affect any sort of padding or where you're posing the baby. Like
you can probably stuff us and everything.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely
we cover
fine.
that really easily.
You need to be mindful of how much weight you're putting in there, because if you've got a bigger baby and it's not enough weight, when you put the baby on the side, it's still going to lift. So just be mindful of that. So weight is always the first thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a gym weight. It can be any kind of weight. Just we recommend something flat and wide if possible, because then it spreads out and it's easy to cover. Next, pipe insulation.
This we picked up from a DIY store. You can get it in all DIY stores. And these are meant to go around pipes to insulate them, like actual pipes in your house. And they come with like a line down it, isn't it? Yeah, that we just open out all the way. These are perfect because it comes in one big huge piece and you just cut it down to size. So we've got
a few different sizes.
We have,
depending on what bucket we're using.
So we know when we use these props all the time. So we know when we get this prop out, we know what size we need for this, and they're all stored in one place. So we've got nice little smaller ones for our smaller buckets. This one's got a really nice wide rim on it, so we use a bigger one. These are lovely because it doesn't matter how narrow the side of your bucket is. That's not going to affect baby when they're lying on it. So this is a nice bit of padding there.
It gives them a wide surface to lean on.
Yeah, and they're nice and safe then because they've got a little bit more there to balance on. And then all we do is we use like a layer to go over the top to hide the insulation.
Okay, for the next one, I'm going to pass the mic over to Kristie. Our hanging basket prop. Now, there's loads of different hanging props that we've seen. But this is our customer favourite. It's a Hobby Lobby
plant holder.
Yeah. Everyone loves it.
As soon as we did one baby in this one, every parent that came in was like, "Can I please have that hanging basket?"
And I was like, "No."
But anything that is dangling, so swings and anything dangling. Obviously, we're going to photograph it, so we have
we need the dangly bits in.
Yes, so everything dangling as it needs to be.
We tend to set this one up before the client comes in and photograph it before they come in, don't we?
Yes.
So it'll be the first one that we do, because we'll photograph it hanging with all the flowers or whatever they've chosen in it. So that we've got a composite of it hanging and everything we need.
But we will never ever put baby in anything dangling and pose them in it. So what we do is we get the beanbag in. So we get the photograph of the basket as we need it to look, and then we bring the beanbag in, and then the bottom of the hanging basket, the weight of it will be on the beanbag. So when baby is in there, they're fully supported at all times.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. They're not actually hanging.
And we don't actually leave them go when they're in this either, do we? So my hand is always on them at all times because it's not a secure structure. So this won't hold any weight at all. So I'm always holding baby exactly where they need to be. And
as annoying as that is to edit, because it's not like a quick edit.
It's not.
But like,
it's not worth it.
It's just not worth it. And you don't mind when the photo comes out beautiful and everybody loves it, and you're like, oh, actually, that did take me a little bit longer, but it was worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And we know that it comes out beautiful because it's a customer favourite.
Yeah. And now we've done it a couple of times. Like, it's a lot quicker than it was the first time.
Yeah. Always composite that image. Never take hands off baby. Never dangle a baby without anything underneath to support, please.
That seems like a really silly thing to say, but like we've seen it.
We have seen
horrendous.
it so many times, and every time I'm scrolling and it comes up, I'm like, oh, my stomach is in my mouth. Please don't leave that baby dangle.
It's not worth it.
No, please. Okay, next is a chair prop. Okay, so this is Charlie, our standing baby, and Charlie is here to demonstrate how we pose in one of these chairs. Now, this is a cheaper prop.
We've brought this one in purposely though, haven't we?
Yes, it's what a lot of people start out with, because the bigger chairs, the more sturdier chairs are very, very expensive. Yeah. Absolutely worth it because they're stunning. But a lot of people start out with these cheaper alternatives, and as you can see, they are very flimsy, so you need to be very careful when posing with these chairs. We've done it, customers have loved them, but you just need to be very mindful of the fact that it's not a sturdy prop. Ours came with little posing cushions, but the number one rule with this is you never, ever, ever take hands off baby. When they are posed on this prop, you do just...
Doesn't matter how sturdy they seem, it's just not worth it.
Because
this bends, I can't do it with one hand. So this bends so easily, like that's literally no weight at all. So a baby doing, like, leaning on there, one little move, and that can go, like, it's just not worth it.
No, absolutely not. So, we have posed in several different ways with this chair. I think there's two that are kind of the most common. So one with pillow on the side and then baby resting on their arm. So in this instance, we would take a photograph like this and then hold baby around the front, take a photograph like that, and then we composite the two together. Now, exactly the same way then, if we were doing leaning on elbow, with this one, we're supporting baby's head at the top and then supporting underneath the chin. I have seen videos of people doing this and then letting go, and that is the worst thing you could possibly ever do. Like, that is the biggest faux pas, I think, in newborn photography. That right there. And just standing away from baby. I can't stress enough how much these babies, they don't have the strength to hold their own head. You can't do it. Please, please, please. If you take one thing away from this video, always composite when using a prop like this. It's really easy to do, you know. It's like, all right, again, it takes time to sit and edit them together, but it's just not worth. If you have any kind of accident with this baby, it's not worth it.
So the last prop we're going to go through is our bunk bed. This is a triplet bunk bed, but also the top comes off and it can be made into a twin bunk bed.
Or a single on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a local carpenter make this for us, and it's fabulous, and we love it. But there is a very safe way to pose on this, and there is a not so safe way, so we're going to show you that.
Yeah, but first of all, we're going to move it slightly because you can't see Kristie at all.
Okay, so with multiples in a bed, it is very easy to think, do you know what? We'll get one sleeping down here, we'll pop the next one in, and if we've got three, we'll pop one on the top.
Please don't do that.
No. That is not the way to go. So what we need to do, again, is composite. So we will start whichever one you want to start with, but for instance, baby on the bottom, get him nice and sleepy, get him posed, photograph. Take baby out. Baby number 2, posed, lovely, photograph. Take them out. Baby number 3, posed, photographed, then take them out. And then
It's really easy to think, oh, that baby's nice and comfy with there and sleeping. Let me just put the other one in because they're not moving anyway. But the thing is, once you've...
this a second. I'm going to demonstrate what happens.
Once you've put the one baby in there and you start to get the other one ready, who's looking at the baby on the bottom and checking everything is okay with that baby? Your only focus is back on the second baby then. So you really need to be doing one at a time.
And with all of the movement, this bed is moving while I'm doing this, and we haven't got hands on baby underneath. So, as much as you think, oh, do you know what, they're fine, let's get baby number 2 in. Again, just not worth it, just don't do it. The other thing, top bunk, well, anything off floor level really.
Yeah.
We just
don't leave them go at all in this prop.
No.
Other beds we do, but again, this is not a normal bed because it's not as easily accessible to get to the bottom bunk. So even that one, we don't really leave them go because if they start going and we can't get hands on where we need to, then
not posed great because we don't have any stuffers and the
Leg
leg
is
is facing backwards. But if we are posing on the top here, the most my hand is away from this baby is literally like this and then back on again. It's not worth not being right here, because if anything, slight nudge on here, you need to be here to be able to...
Same with this though, but your hand was here the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, even though your hand is here above baby, can you put the stand in underneath?
Yeah.
And that might feel like, oh, I'm going to have to edit that whole arm out. But once you've taken baby out of there and you put second baby in, you edit it from the second photo. So it's not that difficult.
It's not, it's really not. And this is a composite that is going to take a little bit longer to get your head around and to practice a bit of, but get a doll. If you haven't got a standing baby, use a doll, use a teddy, use something.
Yeah.
Sit, practice.
We've even done this before, haven't we? Because we had 3 triplets in the bunk bed and then a 9-month-old sat next to them.
Yeah, toddler sat there reading the book to them. So that was 4 to composite together.
Because we didn't trust the toddler being next to the bed when there was a baby in it.
Absolutely. It's just not worth the risk. So all you need to be thinking about is if there's going to be any kind of movement where you're going to be touching the prop, you need hands-on baby, and if you can't do that, that baby doesn't go in there. You do everything one at a time.
Or if your focus is going to be on a second baby while the other baby is put somewhere, like it's just not worth it.
Absolutely not. So that is the safest way to do
a multiples
bed in a bunk bed.
If you would like a more in-depth look of how we run a newborn session and what goes into it, don't forget our memberships are now live. They are just 99 pence and you get live streams and Q&As and a little bit of everything.
Editing, so if people want to see your
Composites,
screen as you're editing, lots of extra information.
Yeah. And those live streams, we are going to be doing a newborn session live where people can ask us questions real time while we're photographing, while we're posing and everything else. So don't forget to click the join button and we will see you all soon.
Bye.